Hello there, what's up? Cormando here. Welcome to my NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2 review. And I do look a little tired. Yes, it is like 6 in the morning now here in the UK. But let's get straight to the show, the results. I thought this was a bit of an odd show because the first half of it I felt was really good, and the second half not so much. It seemed like they were kind of running through the motions really for the second half of it. It was kind of slow. We'll get into it in depth in a second. There was two matches happened before the show, but they're taped for this upcoming week of NXT, so I won't say what happened there. Um, but first match happens, and it's Austin Aries defeats No Way Jose by submission, 10 minutes 40. Match of the night for me. Yep, match of the night for me. I thought this was a great match. This is the perfect example of how you get both guys over, no matter who wins or loses. Both guys looked great in the match. Either of them could have won at any time. I felt, they both just looked great. No boring ass wrestles or anything like that. Just two guys going at it. I thought it was amazing. I really did. I thought it was a great match. 10 minutes 40. It was just really good. I thought it was really, really good. It surprised me, and I was quite surprised at how into the how much the crowd was into No Way Jose's entrance. I thought, oh, they'll maybe be more of a pro Aries crowd, but they were really into his entrance, and he did like this conga line thing where loads of fans came out and did a conga around the ring. I thought that was pretty sweet. But yeah, they were surprisingly into it, and they were singing the "No Way Jose" song as he was coming out. But I thought great match. Honestly, it was. I'm not really going to go in depth to it. I honestly just felt it was a really, really great match. Jose had a TKO at one point. He tried to go for like his full Nelson Slam finisher thing a few times. He hit his wicked clothesline, which Aries sold really well. Aries also hit a crucifix bomb at one point. Had the last chancery in a couple of times. He hit and it ended when he hit a sunset flip powerbomb on Jose, and then locked in the last chancery and won. Seriously, I said it a few times, but great match. I think that's just the perfect match on how you get both guys over. Because a lot of times the main roster, the matches are very like one-sided, and like the loser doesn't just looks like crap. Well, this wasn't the case at all. I felt they really like made a star in No Way Jose, and I think he's got a bright future if used correctly. I thought it was great. But after the match, Aries starts attacking Jose again, and puts the last chancery in, and then Hideo's music hit. I was like, what the fuck? Because it seemed like, oh, somebody could come out here, but Hideo, I totally didn't see that coming. And he comes out and he takes off his jacket, like he had a suit thing on. He attacks Itami. But it was a bit weird. It's like I don't know what happened. They sort of, I don't know. It seemed like it didn't go right at first, but then eventually Tommy started hitting him, and eventually it leads to Tommy hitting the GTS. The crowd went nuts for that. Corey Graves and that was saying that he originated it, which is true. Although I did look at some comments on Twitter, and there's still some dumb fedits that think it's CM Punk. Thinks that it's CM Punk's move, but knew that was going to happen. After this, we got to see Ric Flair sitting at ringside. You could see him coming out in the middle of the match, which I thought was a weird time to take him out. You know, you could take him out once his music's playing or what have you, because the crowd's seen him and were wooing like fedits. So yeah, kind of a dumb move in my opinion to take them out in the middle of the match, but not really an issue. Moving on, we have Ember Moon defeating Billie Kay, 4 minutes 33, and I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a good way for Ember Moon to debut, and her finisher is amazing. It's so cool. I remember people talking about it before she'd actually debuted, and I looked it up and I thought it was awesome. But even just seeing it like for the first time on NXT. It's just so cool. It's like a, a front flip stunner off the top rope. If you haven't seen it, go and look it up because it's really cool. I thought it was just awesome. And the match, again, it was a good match where both people come away looking good. Not quite to the extent of Austin Aries' match. It wasn't anywhere near that good, but that's the thing. Like I like with NXT, like even though you know who's gonna win a match, um, both people actually get a good, amount of offense in and both look good. It's not something you see very often in the WWE, in the main roster in WWE. But I thought this was a good match. I liked her entrance as well for Ember Moon. And she must have had like, well, unless she has red eyes, I have my doubts, but she must have had like contact things in. Her eyes was all like red. And I thought it was a cool entrance as well. Um, but yeah, like I said, it ended with the stunner from the top rope. Very cool, very cool. Um, Apart from that, not really much to say about the match, but it was pretty good. I think it says here Billie goes for a powerbomb. I can't remember if it was there or if it was in the Asuka Bayley match where they messed up a powerbomb. I can't remember. It might have been both actually. But where somebody went for a powerbomb and they sort of messed it up. It could have been there, because I think she like lifted her up and then she didn't quite get her up. I can't remember. It was either that one or the Asuka Bayley match. But yeah, moving on. We get on to the Bobby Roode match, which was Bobby Roode versus Andrade Almas. Bobby Roode won, 10 minutes 23. Greatest entrance ever. Seriously, if you have not seen this entrance, you need to see this entrance. Absolutely amazing. The crowd was singing along to his song. I was singing along to it silently. It was like 1, 2 in the morning at this point. Just amazing. And he came down from the bloody, like, it was as if he came down from the heavens. I think bloody Corey Graves or Tom Phillips said that he was up on some big podium. So I was like, where the hell is he? And then he slowly comes down from this podium, and everybody's singing his song. Just amazing, absolutely amazing. Like when I first heard his song, like I liked it, and I thought, oh no, I still prefer his TNA song. But after this, it's the greatest song ever, possibly, and it's the best theme song for Bobby Roode. Just I didn't really expect the crowd to be that into the song and to be singing it like the entire thing. Just amazing. I was singing along to it, and I was like, as soon as this happened, I was like, Andrade is so gonna get booed like hell, and he did. Like I said before, my predictions, I don't think they're really using this guy well. They should just have him. They're having him face the wrong people. The crowd liked Bobby Roode, the crowd liked Ty Dillinger. But at least he was doing some good stuff in the match. I'll admit he was doing some good stuff. Like he did that thing where he gets thrown to the ropes and then he lands in the middle of it and he's like sitting there like posing. That's pretty cool. And he did a couple of cool moves as well. He got a big crossbody at one point. But coming up to the end of the match, was disappointing. This is probably a pretty disappointing ending. But Roode he did look like he was going for the fisherman suplex at one point, but almost rode through for the cover. Almost hits his big knees in the corner and goes for like a hammerlock DDT thing, but Roode countered with like an uppercut. Almost comes back with a big boot. Roode counters with a spine buster. Roode grabs Almas and delivers the glorious bomb for the win. But the glorious bomb is just a horrible finisher. That should not be his finisher. Please change it. It's like a half pump handle slam finisher. It's not like he takes him right up and does it. It's just a half up, and it's shit. Honestly, it's utter shit. I sort of couldn't see why they won't use the Roode bomb because it's very similar to Cena's AA, but use something else because that is just a shit finisher. Like his entrance was amazing, the match was good, but that was just so bad. Just such a bad finisher. Just just bad. There's nothing I can't say any more about it, but it's bad. It's not a finisher. Um, Befitting Roode, would that be the right word to use? It's not good. He needs a different finisher. Please change it. Apart from that, great stuff there. Um, Moving on, I don't think. Oh yeah. There was this video, and it says here like riot scenes. That would describe it well, and it ends with the word sanity on the screen. I don't know what that's about. It's to me it seems like a tag team, but maybe it could be a one person. But I got a tag team vibe from it. Sanity seems like a tag team. I don't know. That's just that's the idea I got from it. Maybe you think something else. If you do, down in the comment section. But then after this, we get footage from earlier today with Triple H revealing the Cruiserweight Classic Trophy, which the winner will receive on the finale, which is a 2-hour show on September 14th, which is a Wednesday. And we see some of the competitors sitting at ringside. And also this trophy was made by, it's not mentioned here, I think they said something orange, like I seen the guy in the crowd and I was like, that's that guy who makes the bikes from that biker show. I can't remember what his bloody called now. I think he said Orange County or Orange. I think the word orange is in there anyway, but it's that guy with like the big goatee or big Hogan stash. I seen him in the crowd and then they showed him in this. But it's them that made the thing. Like when they revealed it, I was like, when they were sitting there, I was like, okay, is the winner getting a motorbike or something? But it was just this trophy with like a globe on top. It wasn't anything fancy. Like they were making out that it was like this amazing thing. I mean, it's still cool, but it wasn't like, oh my god, that's amazing. It was just like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, after that we there's a backstage thing with Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano, and their catchphrase now is DIY for do it yourself or something. It's a bit weird. They had like a T-shirt and stuff. I don't know. I don't think that's their tag name, or I hope not, 'cause it's kind of weird. Well, yeah, that's what the match is next, and it was the Revival defeating Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa via submission. Oh yeah, that's right. In 19 minutes 10 seconds. Now this is where it sort of started to go downhillish in the match quality. A little bit. Most of this first half, it started off alright, and then it got kind of rest holdy. It's a word I like to use, rest holdy. It'll be official in the dictionary soon, I hope. But yeah, there was a lot of rest holds really. Well, not a lot. You know, there was some good heel work stuff, but then there was quite a bit of rest holds. But once they made the hot tag, it did, pick up. It did get good. And there was loads of false finishes. There was loads of great heel work by the Revival, which you just don't see on the main roster. Like the whole like where the face team gets the tag, but they're distracted by the refs, distracted by the heel team, or they're about to get the tag, but the heel team pulls the guy away off the apron. You just don't see a lot of that on the main roster, and I think because it's already happened to American Alpha, they're not going to get to do the stuff that's made them great in NXT when they get to the main roster, because it's not happened with American Alpha, because all their matches in NXT, it would always start off with some really good technical wrestling, or amateur wrestling, whatever you want to call it, by like a Gable or Jordan, like every time, and it was really good and unique and different, and you haven't seen that when they've been on SmackDown, and I feel it's gonna be the same way when the Revival gets up there, which I think they'll likely go to SmackDown if they do get called up, but but there was some good stuff here on this show, but like I said, in the middle, it was a little bit boring, a little bit, but like I said, once you got the tag, it started getting really good. Like Gargano did his like epic spear like through the ropes from the apron. That's a really cool move. oh, oh yeah, Ciampa and Gargano did their double kick thing at the face, and they went for the pin. It looked like they were going to get it, but then at the last second, Scott Dawson put Dash's foot up on the ropes, and the ref actually had count of 3, but then last second he seen it. Like I said, great heel work. Um, After this, Dawson pulls Ciampa to the floor and rams him off the post. Wilder takes out Gargano's knee. They get double teamed and they do like that stomp thing that they did to Big Cass. Tom Phillips even mentioned it on commentary. And then Dawson applies a knee bar, or that's what it says here, a knee bar, but I think Corey Graves called it a reverse figure 4. And Gargano tapped out. I felt Gargano could have sold it a bit better. Maybe I'm nitpicking, but I felt he really could have sold it better, because that was a move that, when having a big cast, like he was screaming like fuck, and then they made out like he broke his leg. I felt it could have been sold a little bit better. He just it was still, selling it, but I felt it could have been sold more, since it was made such a big deal of before. He just was there and tapped out. Maybe I'm nitpicking, but it was an alright match. Once they made the hot tag, it did pick up, and it did get really good, I felt. And I thought after the match, I was like, please don't. I thought Ciampa was going to turn on Gargano, because it says here there was some tension being shown. I was like, please don't. I could sense that the crowd was feeling it as well. I was like, that doesn't need to happen yet. I think they should just keep them as a team for a while. I don't know how they should go about that. If they should stay a team until get up to the main roster, or if they should stay a team in NXT then split up. Like a team in NXT and then splitting up, I think would be splitting up in NXT, maybe leading to a match at NXT could be good. Going by the match they had at the Cruiserweight Classic, it could be a good takeover match. But I don't know. How do you feel about that? Leave it in the comments. After this, we see Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch ringside. And then we get on to the next match, which was Asuka defeated Bayley, 40 minutes 05. Now, I was really disappointed by this match. It was just really slow paced. It seemed like they wanted it to be a big deal, but it wasn't. It was really slow paced, kind of submission based, I guess, but it wasn't submission based in that it was interesting or anything like that. It just wasn't a good match in my opinion. There was nothing really great about it. Like I said, it looked like in the way they were going with the match afterwards and what have you. Like after the match, it seemed like they wanted it to be a big deal, like it was last year with Sasha and Bayley. But honestly, I wouldn't even say it was a quarter as good as that match. It was just really slow paced, really boring. I got quite bored in the middle of the match. It just wasn't interesting at all. Well, eventually, Asuka has her in the Asuka lock. Bayley hits a Bayley to belly. Asuka kicks out. She gets in the Asuka lock again. Bayley gets out of it. She goes for it again, but Bayley counters with a pin. But Asuka kicks out. I don't know where this happened. It's not mentioned here, but at one point, Asuka, I don't know if she kicked Bayley in the face or punched her in the face or something, and Bayley just sort of no-sold it and was about to go nuts on her, but then Asuka hit a spin kick or a roundhouse kick, and then hit another kick, and then got the win. But I don't think this was a good match at all. At one point, the crowd, Asuka, Bayley hit a German suplex at one point, and pretty nasty looking German suplex, and then she did something else afterwards. I can't remember, and the crowd sort of woke up for that. That was about the highlight of the match. Really, was that pretty nasty looking German suplex. They started chanting women's wrestling or something, or this is awesome. And I was like, pretty low standards if that one move is gonna make the match awesome. Um, but yeah, Asuka won. I don't think Asuka's gonna be used well when she gets to the main roster. Like I don't really like the way she's being used now. Really, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a big fan of the slow-paced submission stuff all the time. It'd be good if they, would shake things up a bit. But after the match, Asuka and Bayley have a bit of a hug, and then Bayley goes and hugs Sasha and Becky and Charlotte. And after that, we get a promo thing. NXT is doing this huge tour in December of New Zealand and Australia, and there's loads of dates, which I find quite surprising. Because like when the main roster goes there, they only do like a couple of shows, but there's like tons of dates. There's like it's more than a week of dates. So I have a feeling there could be because it even says here a potential takeover event will happen there. I'm guessing it will be. It would make sense to do it from Australia. I don't think WWE's had a live show there, like an actual televised show there, in years, if ever. I don't actually know. After this, we see Mick Foley and Noel Foley sitting at ringside, and they promote the Holy Foley crap. And then we see Finn Balor sitting at ringside as well. And then on to Shinsuke Nakamura defeating Samoa Joe to become the new NXT champion. 21 minutes 14 seconds. And this was kind of the same as the Asuka Bayley match, in that it was very slow paced and quite boring and very submission based. But before we get to that, Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance was pretty epic. There was a guy playing violin for it. I thought it was cool. Like when it first started, like he wasn't actually playing the theme, he was just like sort of playing, and I was like, okay, what the hell is this? But then he actually got into the song and started playing the song. It was really cool. I thought it was great. Violinists, that looks like I'd say that's probably one of the hardest instruments to play. I don't know, but it looks like a really hard instrument to play. And I just thought it was a great moment. Great moment. We're not going to get into talking about violins and stuff. This is wrestling. But yeah, I didn't think this was it didn't seem like a match. It wasn't a quality enough. Like, I don't know how to describe it. I don't feel the match was good enough to. It's hard to describe it. Like Shinsuke Nakamura winning that match, and the quality of that match wasn't good enough. Like the quality of that match wasn't good enough to. I bloody had the thought in my head earlier before I recorded this, but I don't feel the quality of the match really was good enough for Shinsuke to win, if you know what I mean. I can't think. It's bloody 6 o'clock in the morning here, but I think you maybe get what I mean. It just didn't seem like the match was a big of a deal for Shinsuke to win. It just felt sort of like they were going through the motions. Really, it was just submission after submission after submission. Eventually there was some kicks, and there was like a triangle hold, and then Joe got it in a cloverleaf. And there was loads of times where he went for like the Coquina clutch thing. But eventually they did get out of this stuff, and it did get a little bit good. He goes for the inverted explorer. There's Nakamura, but what the hell happened? And he did connect with it. Okay, and he goes for the Kinshasa, but Joe counters with a power slam. And I think the crowd started "This is awesome" chant, and this was after like the entire match of like bloody submissions. After this, just this 2 moves, I was like, okay. I don't even think it was a bloody exploder. Wasn't it a German suplex? I can't remember. I think it might have been a German. I don't know. After this, Joe puts Nakamura up in the top rope, hits the muscle buster. Nakamura kicks out at 2. Goes for the muscle buster again. Nakamura kicks out of it. Delivers the Kinshasa, but Joe kicks out at 2. And he was like selling his mouth. I thought maybe he like lost a tooth or something. Like at one point when I seen it, it looked as though like a tooth was missing or something. Maybe I was seeing things, I don't know. But Nakamura goes up top and does like the the knee or the drop kick thing at the back, and then goes for the Kinshasa again and got the win. Like, I didn't even like react to the win, just because the match wasn't good. It's not like it was an amazing match or anything, or because these guys have a history of like hard hitting, and like a sort of like a stiff style matches, but this was not one of them at all. This was very disappointing. I felt this match, the Bayley match, and like the middle of the tag match was very boring in my opinion. Just didn't live up to it. Like Nakamura got the win, and I was just like, okay. The match wasn't good in my opinion. Not good. Not. And the crowd was the same. The crowd wasn't into it at all. There was no reactions from them, apart from singing Nakamura's theme and what have you. But that wasn't a great match. Maybe if you like submission wrestling and what have you, then you loved it, but I don't think it was very good. And after the match, there was highlights and Nakamura celebrating and the crowd singing his song, and that was it. But like I said, best match for me was the first match in Aries versus No Way Jose. But the best part of the night was Bobby Roode's entrance. By far, amazing. Or should I say, glorious. I thought it was awesome. And also, I seen a video afterwards that showed the crowd as they were making their way out of the arena, all still singing Shinsuke's theme, which is pretty cool. I don't think there's any other news about the show or anything like that. I don't think I've seen anything on the sites. No, nothing. Nothing NXT related anyway. Just that the taped matches before the show. But apart from that's really about it for NXT TakeOver. I'm about to go and upload this and maybe go sleep for a little while, and then I'll be back at it for bloody. Well, going by Sky TV. Remember, I was saying that in my predictions for SummerSlam that I didn't know if it was going to be set, if the show was going to be set for 5 hours. Well, it is according to Sky, so it's as bad as WrestleMania, 7 hours. Great, lovely, because that's exactly what I need in my life. 7 hours of fucking wrestling. Hopefully it doesn't go that long, because there's no need for it at all. No need whatsoever for that length of time for a show. It's just ridiculous. WrestleMania was way too long, and they're just going to do the same here and not go for quality over quantity. Instead, they go the other way around. There's no need. There literally is no need. Save some of your a great match and have it on Raw or something, or have it on SmackDown. You don't need to you don't need to have every single person have a bloody match on the pay-per-view. You just don't. You save the matches for Raw and that. There's just no need. Absolutely no need. There's no need. Okay, I can understand it being 4 hours, I guess, since it's SummerSlam, but there's no need for the fucking 17-hour pre-show and the extra hour of the actual pay-per-view. There's no need. There literally is no need. Unless you're going to put on amazing matches from start to finish, there's no need. And we know that's not going to happen, so there's no need. But yeah, we're getting ready for that crap, so yeah, that's about it really. So I hope you've enjoyed this little review, and I hope you leave your thoughts on the show as well. Maybe you thought it was amazing, I don't know. But like I said, wasn't a fan of all the submissions and rest holds, but I was really impressed with No Way Jose and Austin Aries. I was really surprised how good of a match it was, and how they made after the match, how the match made both of them look good, even though there was a winner and a loser. They both came out looking good, which you just don't see very often in WWE these days. And Ember Moon's finisher was amazing, and Bobby Roode was glorious. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you for my SummerSlam review in about 24 hours. Yay! Yay! No.